Welcome back. So for those of you that don't know, I've been training myself throughout the month of August in order to hold my breath for longer. This week was week 4, meaning my final week, and it did not go as planned. Whereas week 1 and 2 went by really easy and I had big improvements, week 3 and 4 were much harder, mainly due to external factors. I'm kind of in the process of thinking about moving. I've been having a lot of car trouble, which is just a nuisance to deal with, and I've been having crazy problems with my ears, which is in the process of getting figured out, but I haven't been able to hear for like the past week. Better now, one ear is working, the other one's still kind of iffy, but ear problems basically meant that I had to stay out of the water, something that I absolutely hate doing. I'm more fish than human, so the max that I could keep myself out of the water was a week. I love being underwater the most, so not being able to submerge my head was definitely hard. But now let's talk about some breath holding stuff. So my record still standing is 4 minutes, 4:09 on land, 4:03 in the water. And I was hoping to improve a little bit this week, but alas, that did not happen. Right now, my minimum hold time is around 2 minutes, 2:30. Depending on my ventilation, and I would really love for me to be able to bring that up to around 3 minutes, 3:30. Didn't work out this week, but one thing that I really want to say that's important for me is this is not like a one and done journey. Like, I don't want to just say I've hit 4 minutes and now I'm never going to do anything ever again. No, I want to consistently keep working at this and get to 4 minutes every single time I try. And then later on 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, so on. I don't know. I want to see how far I can go. I do know the record right now is 11 minutes with not oxygenating before. So I don't think I'm gonna get that far. I am just a normal human who's just doing this by themselves, just watching stuff on YouTube and reading articles on Google and everything. So we'll see how far I can get, but it's something that I definitely want to keep working on. Next up, I want to talk about things that I've struggled with throughout like this whole month, but mainly these last 2 weeks that have really been a struggle for me. So number 1, feeling like I just can't ventilate properly in the water. Just the pressure of the water makes me feel like I can't get the amount of oxygen that I want into like my lungs. And then I feel like my breath hold is way less just because of that reason. Number 2 is feeling like it's easier to hold your breath when you're on your back. So whenever I'm doing a dry land breath hold, I always lie on my back, and I guess I've also gotten used to that, and it might be something like mental, you know, like a mental block really, because I'm so used to always being on my back. I find it so much easier. I have been experimenting along with like weights in the pool and submerging myself, and I haven't tried to go for a breath hold while like holding weights on my chest or something just so I could be laying on my back, but it's something that I want to try. Like, why not, you know? Next thing is feeling like I want to give up as soon as it starts to get uncomfortable and not being able to relax after a certain point. So for these two, it's been basically just these past 2 weeks where I'm just like, I get so irritated once that uncomfortable feeling sets in, and I just immediately want to quit. Like, I don't even want to try and push, and that's such a difference for me from like the first 2 weeks where I just had so much willpower and so much determination that I was able to, once I get to that uncomfortable spot, I was able to like relax my body, and I would get just like this weightless feeling in my body, and I'd feel so at peace. Whereas now I don't know what happened, but I can't get there anymore, and it's very annoying because I just get so irritated and I want to like move, and I just like want to breathe really badly. So I think the best thing for me to do in this case is to maybe just take a break and then come back to it. So that's what I'm going to try doing. But next up, I want to talk about things that I've learned throughout like this whole month. So I've learned that once you get contractions, it's basically the halfway mark. If you get contractions around 2 minutes like me, or 2:30, then that means that you can actually hold for another 2 minutes. It's cool to think about, right? I've also learned, like, just by trying attempts over and over again, that I can actually withstand around like 1:30 of contractions, like I don't want to say comfortably because they're not comfortable, but I can do 1:30 and then I feel like that's it, game over, I gotta breathe, right? I do want to push it all the way up to 2 minutes just to increase my time and to train my body in the end, right? The cool thing that I've learned just by doing this stuff is now my contractions definitely start later. Before all this training, whenever I would try to hold my breath, my contractions would come in around like a minute 30 at max. But now they actually come in at like 2 minutes, 2:30, around that mark. So it's cool to see that, you know, there's that improvement, right? Something that I've learned that I like doing is whenever I feel like I can't hold any longer, for some reason I enjoy counting things. Like what? So especially when I'm in the water, if I'm in the pool and I've got like the mask on, I'll just open my eyes and I'll start counting the tiles at the bottom of the pool, which is insane. But I don't know, it helps me. I used to do this before I would start counting contractions, but I don't enjoy that as much now. Now I just like rather count the tiles, and it helps me sometimes go for just a little bit longer. It takes my mind off of things. Okay, now on to things that I've noticed throughout doing this. My thoughts during my breath holds have definitely changed. It's getting a bit harder to just be in the moment like I was in like my first 2 weeks. I was just kind of concentrating on the sounds I was hearing, the feeling of like if I was laying on the floor, the feeling of the carpet on my skin. Now I find my thoughts drifting to memories. And something that I've actually been doing for like these past 2 weeks is listening to music, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I find that it just helps me so much. It takes my mind off of things and it makes the time just go faster. And so when I'm actually doing attempts in the water, I find that sometimes I'm just like singing song lyrics to myself. I don't know if it's gonna help me or if I should stop doing it and try and again just put myself in the moment and just really concentrate on what I'm doing and finding peace in that. But music has really helped me. Things that I've noticed about when I've gone for like a max breath hold, when I get close to that point of blacking out, I don't think I'm there yet. I've never actually fainted in my life, so I'm not really sure what to expect, right? When I'm close to that point, my sound definitely goes. Like it feels like my ears just close and everything is muffled. All the sounds around me are muffled. At first, when I would do that, it would feel very weird, but now I guess, I don't know, I've also gotten used to it, and that happens around like the 3:30, 3:40 mark, and I can usually push past it and get to the 4 minutes, and then when I get out of the water or I breathe again, the sound comes back. It comes like rushing back, like a whoosh, you know. And yeah, I feel weak, but I feel relieved that the breath hold is over, and I never feel like I'm gonna black out. I'm still not able to prolong my hold by letting like little bits of CO2 out. As soon as I let anything out, any bubbles, it's game over. I gotta breathe, and that's that. I don't know if I should be training myself to try and let out a little bit of CO2, like towards the end of my hold, just so I can prolong the hold. I'm not sure if that's something I should be doing. If anyone knows who's watching this, comment down below, let me know. Should I be just holding everything in, not letting anything out till I'm at the surface, or should I be, if I want to make my hold longer, should I be letting little bits of air out? Let me know. Yeah, that's kind of the things that I've struggled with, the things I've learned, and just random things I've noticed throughout my month of holding my breath. Like I said before, this is not like a one and done for me. I'm definitely thinking of it as more of a marathon than a sprint. Like this is a journey that I've started on, and I'm not gonna quit it. And I just want to get as comfortable as I can, holding my breath for as long as I can, and just being able to explore this beautiful, amazing underwater world that we have. So yeah, that's everything I've got for you guys this week, and if you've stuck with me this far and you've watched this journey, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Like, it means a lot. I really hope that you enjoyed it, that you learned something, and if you want to try this, definitely go for it. Like, it's always fun trying new things. For me, like, I wasn't able to hold my breath past 1 minute, 1:30 pushing it, and now a month later being like, yeah, I can get to 4 minutes, and I know I can get to 4 minutes. It's pretty cool. It's always really cool to see how we can push our bodies and how we can end up accomplishing things that we honestly never even thought possible. Like, our bodies are pretty cool, man. And I hope you'll stick around and you'll follow me along on whatever journey I decide to embark on next. Thank you guys. Bye!